Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
And hello everybody to All-Star 15 TV. Tonight we have the ACAR Frey Truckin series coming to you live from Richmond Raceway. Race number 2 in the round of 8. We're brought to you by tonight's race. It is the Regeneration Sports Network 130 laps around beautiful Richmond Raceway. We'll bring up the points momentarily. But before we get to any of that good stuff, let me bring in my broadcast partner here on these Monday nights. It's Mr. Joe Hutchins.
Hola. How's it going, boys?
Not much, pal. How are you doing?
The first Monday after a vacation, not so fun. But I am here tonight. We are going to have some fun at Richmond. And let's hope we have some clean racing from these boys, just like we've had the last few weeks.
Can we just talk about last week's race on how phenomenal it was to go from one end to the other just beautifully? The finish we had between Dalton Fredericks and Paul Irvin, probably one of the closest non-super speedway finishes we've had on the channel, and not just with ACAR. It was absolutely amazing. I'm hoping that we get some sort of racing like that tonight. We're just a couple minutes away from gridding, but Joe, I'm excited for tonight. It's the Regeneration Sports Network 130 from Richmond Raceway. What are you looking forwards to? Because we've heard from the drivers that these cars are really tight until they're really loose, and then really loose until it's super tight.
Well, you're just going to have to adapt when racing through the ever-changing track conditions. I know coming out of turn 2 is quite treacherous, and I know this because I've been practicing at Richmond for some future endeavors. And they're just going to have to adapt. It's pretty much the short, simple answer.
Yeah, and I just, everybody saw as you were talking, I brought up the points coming into tonight's race. Paul Irvin with a 6-ish point lead over Derek Stanley. The cutoff right there, very close. It is still very, very close. It's the second race of the round. We do have another one going to Rockingham next week. But Joe, what are you trying to do tonight if you're a playoff driver?
In this race, survive. Just by what they were talking about with the truck going from tight to loose to tight, there's a pretty good skill set to running a truck fast when it's changing like that. So survive the race, make it to the final, I'd say, last 30 laps, and then start racing hard. And hopefully you got a set of tires sitting on the pit wall for the final run of the checkered flag.
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Tires are going to be very much key. You will run out of tires before you run out of fuel here. But thank you to all our sponsors here on the channel. W Energy is one of the big ones we have on the channel. If you want any clean form of energy, look up W Energy. Use code AS15TV to save 10% on all your orders. Visit w.gg. We have merch here on the channel, All-Star 15 TV. Get your brand new shirts and hoodies for All-Star 15 TV. I'm kind of wearing mine right now. I didn't know if we were going to do face cams tonight, but I just wanted to be prepared.
I am not ready for a face cam today, bud. Sorry.
We forgot to shave your bald head.
No, there's no hair up there, dude. It's on my chin. It all slid off the top of my head, went around my chin, bald.
Yeah. Trust me, I know how it is.
My head.
I know how it is. With just a couple minutes left in qualifying. Yeah, Joe, I think you're spot on with the survive. Going from Las Vegas last week, multi-grooved, able to basically run anywhere, to a track that maybe has a lane and a half of groove to run in. It's going to be very fun to see how everybody's going to fight for that racing line.
You're gonna see these guys running 2 wide, 3 wide on the straightaways. Don't you fret about that.
I was thinking
it's gonna be. Can you hang on to it in the turn? Is what it's gonna be.
Yeah. As you see right now, our top 5, all playoff drivers, except the driver of the number 26, Sean Patrick. Paul Irvin, with his second lap, puts him 6th. We have Brett Murphy take a qualifying attempt. He didn't end up getting a lap counted. But I'm excited for this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be something completely different that we've seen in the last couple weeks for the ACAR Frey Truckin series. You know, we've had these speedways, the super speedways. Now it's time to hit a short track to really test these drivers as we head to Rockingham next week, another short track, and then to finish the season, at Homestead in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we go back to where NASCAR should never have left.
Exactly. A lot of racing series shouldn't have left that track, but we're not gonna say anything too loud. IndyCar.
Well, I felt like that was kind of a good segue while we just have about 20 seconds left. Want to give a shout out to you guys, Hutchport Racings and Phantom Power Racing. We'll be broadcasting about 8 hours for their attempt in about a week and a half for the 24 hours of Daytona.
2 attempts. We have 2 cars.
That's right. But it'll be one stream with both cars. Yeah, that'll be right here on the channel on the 18th. Check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun. But we also have coming to the channel in March the Gulf Coast IndyCar series. It's going to be a
you're going to mention it.
It's going to be a pre-taped race that's going to be aired just about a day or so afterwards. We're going to graphic it all up, make it look all nice and pretty. Joe's going to do it. And then put it out there. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for it. Open wheel.
I like how you say, Joe's going to do it.
Well, I'm going to help you broadcast, but when it comes to all that other stuff, I
make it look fancy.
Let's run down the starting lineup for the Regeneration Sports Network 130 from Richmond Raceway. Your pole sitter, the driver of the number 1 Toyota. It is James Shanewolf. Outside pole, the 77 of Derek Stanley. Adam Capps and Matt Cochran in row 2. Row 3, Sean Patrick and Paul Irvin. Row 4, Brett Murphy and Chris Sawyer. Rounding out that top 10, it's Michael Steele and Joe Darnell. In row number 6, you have Daniel Park and Logan Tackett. And shotgun on the field. Going to be starting it from that 13th position. It's going to be Alan Michael Bennett. Joe, who you picking?
Shane Wolf all day.
Yeah, when it comes to these kind of short tracks and these kind of races, that is a very, very safe bet, is Shane Wolf. Not to jinx him, we don't like that. The curse is not real. Don't listen to people. Honestly, somebody to look for. Somebody to look for. I don't want to pick him 2 weeks in a row because I seem to have jinxed him last week. So I'm not. I'll take outside pole Derek Stanley. Watching him in practice, he looked really comfortable in that Toyota Tundra, and would not be surprised if we end up seeing him up front, towards the front, and possibly contending later on tonight for the win. But we are rolling, everybody. We're going to get 2 caution laps before we send these trucks flying down into turn 1 for the first time. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. If you guys knew how much it helps the channel. What was that, Joe?
I said I liked and shared it already.
I know, I saw. Everybody saw. Hell, even Gary did it. Watch. Boom. There it is again.
Nice. Mike Campigio says, "Go pace truck." Too bad we don't have a pace truck tonight, sir. It is a car. Yeah.
I think he took a line from you because
I
you're the
know.
one that always types "Go Pace Truck."
Yeah, I didn't do it this time.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks for the like, pal. It very much
Thank you for
helps
the
out
like.
it very much helps out the algorithm if you guys didn't know. Whether it's Facebook or YouTube. And it pushes iRacing and All-Star 15 TV a little bit further up the ladder so more people can enjoy what we do, what you guys do with the chat, and what these drivers do in the cars and trucks. But here we go. Lights are off in the iRacing official pace car. We are gridded up, getting ready to go. Shane Wolf got the pole. He's going to start on the inside. Then you have the 77 of Derek Stanley. Your top 5 are all Toyotas. I don't think we have a Ford in the field. We do not have a Ford in the field. But here we go. Green flag in the air, and we are a go for the Regeneration Sports Network. 130.
Shane Wolf getting that nose stuck out there going into turn 1. He's going to have Stanley cleared going under the backstretch here.
Derek Stanley was very high into turn number 1. That allowed the 1 to get the pull off of the turn and starting to set sail, as already we've seen multiple drivers go single file. Your battle back here is with these 26 of Sean Patrick and the 4 of Matt Cochran. As there goes the 26 looking to the outside of the 4 Cheat Cheese of Matt Cochran and making the pass on the outside.
I don't think these guys are going to hold back. It looks like they're getting pretty racy early off here.
Yeah, especially back in the middle of the pack here as we're still watching this battle. But now it's Matt Cochran, the 64, Brett Murphy. The issue we're having right now is a lot of drivers are fighting these loose race trucks early on in the race. But up front, it's all James Shanewolf putting about a half a second over Derek Stanley in second. Then Adam Capps in third. Shout out to Adam Capps and Elite Entertainment for being the caution sponsor here on the channel. As there goes Brett Murphy now to the inside of Matt Cochran, opening the door for Michael Steele coming out of turn 4. Joe,
I'm sitting here watching Stanley's truck, and he's got a lot of yaw going into the middle of 1 and 2. I think they really are fighting loose condition right now.
Yeah, well, why don't we actually jump on board? If I can find the cockpit view. There it is. We'll stick a lap or 2 with Derek Stanley here. On entry, not looking too bad. Waiting for the power down.
Oh yeah, you can see that truck is wanting to kick the back end out.
Yeah, even
Same
on
thing with
exit.
Shane Wolf. Yeah.
But here comes Adam Capps. He's gotten to the back bumper of the 77 now. And Joe, I know you mentioned it earlier about being aggressive. I think with everybody on fresher tires, this is the time to put those tires to the test. Gain as many spots as possible.
Well, if you're running mid-pack, you're definitely going to want to move forward, especially if you're one of those playoff drivers. But if you're, I'd say if you're in the top 3 right now, you're probably just settling in and letting her ride. It looks like Paul's kind of settled in. He hasn't gained or lost anything to the 2 truck at this time.
No, he's doing a pretty good job after gaining the initial 2 positions before we hit lap 2. But yeah, I think you're right with that. Paul Irvin in the 48 is just, hey, I'm here to ride. There's nothing won on lap 9.
Yeah, he's leading the points right now. He has nothing to lose.
Yeah, no kidding. For anybody watching at home, there are the points. If you're Joe Darnell, Brett Murphy, Michael Steele, Matt Cochran, even Derek Stanley, who's currently running in that second position, you need a good night.
Where's that Chi-Chi's truck?
That Chi-Chi's truck is falling all the way back to that 8th position, -4 from where he qualified.
If he doesn't put the celebration of food somewhere on that truck soon, they should black flag.
You might
it
have
for
to
a
make
lap.
it for him.
Parker, get up with me.
And on board with Matt Cochran right now, Joe. I don't know if you've noticed this or you can hear it very well. Not that because you're old or anything, but he is.
Just say that's because I'm old.
Yes. He's very late getting on the gas, and he's, for the most part, it looks like he's overdriving some of these turns. We saw him do it in turn 1 and 2, but he is very late getting to the gas. I think that's where he's losing a lot of his times. You know, last time by, he was a 22.75 to Shane Wolf's 22.19. So he's a half a second off race pace.
It looks like he's burning that right rear off.
And there goes the 7 of Daniel Park. Glad to see him back in the truck again for another week. The 12 of Joe Darnell is now looking to make a pass. And the 4 is just going to stay to the inside. The 10 now, Chris Sawyer is going to pass Matt Cochran. Or going to try to. But back here in second, third, and fourth, you see the 77 of Derek Stanley, the 2 of Adam Capps, and Paul Irvin, who just blinked out. We never see him blink out. Gets tagged by the 26.
Oh, poor Paul.
That had to do everything with the blink. We'll go back and take a look at it so you can see it. Oh, Paul was gone for a while. Paul is completely gone at this moment. And watch. Boom. Right there.
Yeah, there's nothing that following truck can do at that point. That's, that's one of them iRacing deals. So this is what you get with simulated racing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, nothing for the 26 of Sean Patrick to do. Unfortunately, it hurt Paul Irvin, dropping him all the way back to that 7th position. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that Chevy Silverado, so he'll be able to keep in the fight. But a very scary moment earlier.
His pride is definitely damaged.
I wasn't going to touch his pride. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're not. I'd hate to be that guy that just blinks out and freaks everybody out.
In the words of TJ, chaos. Hi, TJ.
He's down in the race control booth.
Is it reinforced?
I would hope so, just like this booth is. Derek Stanley is still trying to hold off a hard-charging number 2 of Adam Capps. That's second and third. You have about a second ahead to Shane Wolf. For everybody wanting a cool Facebook page for all sports, go check out tonight's race sponsor, Regeneration Sports Network. The link is in the description below. They post everything: baseball, hockey, basketball, whether it's college. Same thing with football, whether it's college or NFL. I don't know if they're going to do this spring league. I don't know if they did that last year. But go check them out. It's a fun sports page to be a part of. They're very knowledgeable, and they also share our races on there. So
they also do a really good job at making sure that breaking news is put up immediately.
Yes.
So thank you, Regeneration.
Yes.
Hi, Rob.
Brett Murphy and the 26 of Sean Patrick. Very close battle. 24 laps into tonight's race. Both of these drivers are plus drivers. Brett Murphy just went to +3. Currently shares the biggest mover of the race. with Michael Steele and Daniel Park.
Shane Wolf is checked out. He said,
Shane Wolf
sayonara, suckers.
He is over a second and a half, Joe. And with short tracks, it's really difficult to pull away by that margin this fast. And he is consistently a tenth, 2/10 faster than anybody else on the racetrack. Oh, as he gets squirrely out of two. Yikes.
He got absolutely slidey.
That would make me nervous.
Can the shorts lady report to the number 1 pit? Shorts, please. 1 pit.
I know Ryan's in his truck right now. For anybody wondering, we have Ryan Frey in the booth with us as well. He's listening to tonight's race on the road, and wouldn't be surprised if he's just laughing right there. We're having a great time. I'm AJ Capola, Joe Hutchings, up in the Wrestling with Nerds broadcast booth at Richmond Raceway for the Regeneration Sports Network 130 for the ACAR Frey Truckin series. We're just shy of 30 laps in. James Shane Wolf is putting a butt whooping on the field, but the battle we need to stay and watch is the 77 and the 2. Derek Stanley and Adam Capps, both playoff drivers, doing a great job not running each other over and staying competitive to each other. They're also pulling away from Brett Murphy and Sean Patrick. But the thing is, that number 1 is pulling away from them about a 10th or so a lap.
Someone needs to check those tires to see if there's glue on them.
What was the Days of Thunder thing? The tires were staggered, right?
Yeah, it matched perfect. Matched stagger and, or is it, staggered and matched perfect.
Hello, Joe Darnell cutting the grass, coming out of turn 4, gets loose, crosses the line, and cuts the grass all the way down towards turn number 1. Now, Joe, watch all those grass clippings go all over the racetrack. That's a new debris model we have on iRacing that they're going to need to run through that to clear the racetrack.
So his sponsor next week will be John Deere.
Oh, Jesus. Not if you talk to Ryan. I think Ryan's an international person.
Ooh.
But Michael, holy cow, Michael Steele, Sean Patrick, Paul Irvin, all under a blanket. This is for 5th place. And we should be coming up to pit stops within the next 10 to 15 laps as Logan Tackett.
Woohoo. These boys are all over the place now. We're getting to that Lucy part.
Ooh, slams on the brakes, brings it to pit road, jumps to pit road, I think. Oh, nope.
He jumped on the binders and ended up whacking the inside wall. Can't do
4
that.
trucks under a 10th.
All playoff drivers.
Yes.
Just about.
From 1st to 6th, all playoff drivers. Matt Cochran in 9th, Joe Darnell in 11th. Logan Tackett still on pit road for an extended period of time. See Steel Graphics and Designs on 3 of those trucks, the 7, the 5, and the 26. All under a blanket as Paul Irvin has collected the truck back up, and he's starting to move back up towards the front. Brett Murphy last time by in 4th was the fastest truck on the racetrack by almost 2.5 tenths.
adjust that brake bias a little bit, you get that speed back. That's what Paul's doing.
Yeah, Paul's also a really good driver. So I think as long as he doesn't wreck the race car, a mistake won't hurt him. Hopefully I didn't just jinx him. That would be bad. I'll never hear the end of it. But back here, Daniel Park in the 7 now side by side with Paul Irvin. As we are already 40 laps into tonight's race, just shy of it. And I can hear Joe saying, go, just go. Get to 130.
At this point, you want to get to lap 45.
Yeah. As you know, these drivers have done all the math equations to pit when they need to, so they don't have to give up any sort of advantage to another driver. That's why I think if they can, they're going to try to make this race in half if they can. Go all the way to lap possibly 65 if they can. Don't think they can. I think the tires are going to be gone within the next 5 or 10 laps.
See, if I have enough tires on the box, I don't remember what the tire count is for today. 5?
Yes.
Yeah, at 45, I'd be dumping in, and then at 90, and then you got 40 lap run to the finish. It's going to be a 2-stopper.
I lied. I apologize. 4.
Okay, yeah, you still got plenty of tires, especially if you go green, white, checker at the end.
You know,
we'll see. They should be getting ready to go.
Not for nothing. Shane Wolf hasn't pulled away like he had done early on in tonight's race. He's keeping serve with Derek Stanley, but he's staying pretty close. If not, Stanley's been right there lap time wise.
That's called gap management. Oh.
Ooh, somebody's in the wall. Derek Stanley's in the wall. Yellow flag is out. Did something die on the 77? Oh! Something broke. Oh my god.
I think he... Fire. That's... Or... Connection or...
No, I think something disconnected. Let's jump on board to see if we see any disconnect with the wheel. Because it has to be the wheel. He's turning, he's turning, he's turning. Oh, it just never went. Joe, have you seen something like this before? It's like his right front went down. On board with him again.
That's what it looks like. Turn in. I mean, I don't hear any sound.
No, neither do I. Does iRacing have it where tires go down like that? Because I don't remember they do.
Controller disconnected, according to Daniel Krim in chat.
Derek Stanley was having a good, really good night. The night he needed. And whether it was a technical issue or a tire blew or what have you, his night is most likely going to be over as everybody's hitting pit road under our first Elite Entertainment caution of the night. Comes lap 45. Wow. And that was a hard hit too.
Take a look who's sitting on pit road right now. You got snookered.
Paul Irvin?
He was on pit road when the pace car came rolling out and he had to go run a lap. Now it puts him to the back of the field.
Yeah, he's currently back in 11th, still on the lead lap. But we are under our first
And if
caution.
it wasn't for bad luck, whew.
You're right. We're under our first caution flag of the evening here on All-Star 15 TV. It's race number 2 of the ACAR Frey Truckin Series round of 8 in their playoffs. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as
And green flag back in the air, and here we go. Shane Wolf, Murphy, Caps, Steele, Park, your top 5. Patrick in 6th, 7th, Matt Cochran, 8th, Paul Irvin, Sawyer in 9th, and Bennett in 10th. Immediately we go single file. Gotta go a little bit further back to start getting too wide. The 26th of Sean Patrick with the 7 of Daniel Park. Paul Irvin in the 48 trying to fight back up towards the front. This time he's got tires, and there he goes trying to put a move 3 wide. And he's gonna back out of it.
Wisely so.
Yeah, it's still early on in this race. I know we've hit lap 50, but it's still early. I'm still shocked with Derek Stanley, dude. Very much. To have that kind of luck on a night where you needed to perform.
Hardware issues are a thing. Just like any piece of mechanical equipment.
Yeah.
Computer, your cell phone, all that stuff. You have to maintain. Or else it goes kablooey when you need it.
And even, like you mentioned, even in real life, race cars too, race trucks. Out of nowhere, kaboom. Granted, you don't really see motors expire as often as you used to, but we see tires blow. We've seen tires come off the vehicles.
Heck, in the hybrid era of some of these cars, take a look at what happened with Scott Dixon. They had the battery go bad. That's not a good thing.
Alan Michael Bennett.
Oh. No.
Dude, you're backing up the wrong way.
No. There he goes.
And we stay green.
Good job, bud.
That's going to put him a lap down again. And the leaders are literally right behind him. And he's about to do it again. Did you see that coming off of turn 4 there?
Seaway.
The 88. Sideways. Slideways. He's running the outside to kind of show the way for the leaders.
Daniel Krim said, "Sir, you can't park there."
No, I'm surprised he backed up the way he backed up.
I know. I went, ooh. Joe needs a set of new shorts too now.
As that's going to put him 2 laps down. As Brett Murphy in 2nd and Adam Caps. Adam Caps is trying to use the 88 as a pick, but both get by him. And there they go, continuing the fight as Caps looks back to the inside.
Just keep racing each other like that. That one truck's gonna sit there and be like, yeah, you guys keep burning up your shit. I mean, stuff. Sorry. Last
time by, Shane Wolf was a half a tenth faster than both of them.
This isn't network TV, AJ.
Oh, there goes the 64. Woo, what a catch.
Slideways catch. Or what do they say in hockey? Glove save and a butte?
Yep. Kick save, glove save.
We'll call that a kick save because he was slideways.
Yeah, you know a lot about drifting now. You and Scott Ramler know a lot about drifting now.
I blame Scott Ramler for my drifting addiction now. Oh, that's 64. almost ate the wall again.
Yeah, and that's going to open up the door to the 2, to the outside, and clear off of 4. Adam
Adios,
Capps
amigos.
moves into P2.
And well, they just watched the number 1 sail away.
Well, let's check lap times in a couple laps when everything stabilizes. You know, back a little bit further though. The 7, the 4, they're still trying to get by the 88 of Alan Michael Bennett. Still staying to that outside. But they are struggling to put a turn together to get by the slower 88. Sean Patrick now almost clips the wall out of 2. Opens up the door for the 88 to the inside. Paul Irvin with a great run into turn 3 and out of turn 4. Keeps it almost even crossing the start-finish line. It's going to send it down into turn number 1. Paul Irvin is fighting all the way back. This is for P4 on the racetrack.
That outside line gets a really good run, and then it just falls off for that, allowing that inside truck to kind of gain a little bit of momentum. Seeing how Paul sit there and move up in front of that other truck to kind of block his momentum. You end up getting forced into that line.
Oh, as the 5 of Michael Steele pops the wall on the front stretch. As we just hit halfway into tonight's race. I know, already, right?
Don't jinx it.
No, I'm just saying, with everything here, with the ACAR Frey Truckin series, there's been nothing but amazing racing the last 2 months.
It's been real good.
Rarely any cautions. The fights have been amazing throughout the racetrack. Just go back and look at last week at Las Vegas, Joe.
The last half of the race.
Yeah.
It was nothing but a fight.
And here comes the 77 back out on the racetrack. Unfortunately, Stanley is 24 laps down.
Dang. Bad break, bud.
One thing for Derek Stanley to think of is if a couple drivers can get knocked out of the race within the next 20, 30 laps and he can continue to run, he will eclipse them and gain a position or 2 back, but he's going to need some luck on his side as we just passed a lap 70. As there you see the battle for 6th. Sean Patrick and Daniel Park. 2 teammates. They're all under a blanket. The 5, the 7, and the 26. But up front, the driver of the number 1, James Shainwolf, in that Toyota Tundra with Exxon on the side. Not pulling away as he was on the first run. Adam Capps is kind of keeping him honest, even though he's about 7.5 tenths back.
I'm going to say he's gap managing again, because the way he was dominating the first portion of this race, yeah, he's just saving his stuff.
You know, I'd agree with you but coming out of the turns, that's where Cap is making up some time. They stay even. That here we go. There it is, down to 7.5. It was right around 8. Somebody smacks the wall. I heard it.
Oh. Paul's gone.
Disconnected? Oh, no,
Paul
he's back.
is blinking again.
And we rarely see this out of the 48. Oh, there he goes again. We gotta jump off of him or it's gonna send us back to like a scenic camera. But that 48 having some connectivity issues. I know for a good portion of the US they're in a snowstorm right now. You know, central to the East Coast. I know Ryan's currently driving in a heck of a snowstorm, so if you're out there, truckers watching, listening, or whatever, stay safe, be careful, listen to those signs that say get off the road or what have you. But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're having a decent night, whether you're home or out on the road. But Shane
Somebody
Wolf
turn the
back under a second.
Somebody turned the furnace off around my parts of the United States.
Why, are you cold?
Yes.
It was 20 today, and I went to work in shorts.
It is 37.
So let's run through the field as we're just shy of 80 laps here tonight from Richmond Raceway, the Regeneration Sports Network. 1:30. Let's run through the field real fast. P1 right now, it's James Shane Wolf. In P2, the driver of the number 2, Adam Capps. Third brings you to the 64, Brett Murphy. In fourth place, the 48 of Paul Irvin. Fifth, the 7 of Daniel Park. In sixth place, the number 5 of Michael Steele. In seventh, the 26 of Sean Patrick. In eighth, the driver of the number 4, Matt Cochran. Chris Sawyer in ninth. In 10th, you have the 12 of Joe Darnell. In 11th, the driver of the number 88, 2 laps down, Alan Michael Bennett. The number 3 in 12th position, 21 laps down, and shotgun on the field, 24 laps down, the driver of the number 77, Derek Stanley.
I commend Stanley for getting back out there and running.
Absolutely. Anything can happen. If somebody gets knocked out of the race, he can bunny hop a couple people. But that needs to happen soon. If it happens and he's still 24 laps down with 24 to go, he ain't a clipping nobody. He's just out there for pride at that point. But Shane Wolf said, I ain't gap managing no more. He's easily 0.2 faster a lap from these drivers.
Told you.
He is starting to put distance in between these drivers. But that's your biggest gap, your best gap right now, as Brett Murphy gets squirrely out of 2. Gonna bring Paul Irvin into the fight for P3. They've been out on the racetrack for about 40 laps, with taking their pit stop at lap 45, Joe. What changes do these trucks go through a run like this?
Well, we discussed it earlier. Trucks are going to start off tight, then go loose, and then get really, really tight afterwards, because you're changing the weight of the truck as you burn the fuel load off. So right now, they're probably, the 64 is out of it. Oh, boy.
And he's going to hold on to it, and he's coming to pit road.
I would too, if you're pulling something like that.
Well, look at all the rubber on the inside portion of the racetrack. And
he's going to get four. He's going to get 4 tires, fuel, and a change of drawers.
As Chris Sawyer's going to head back out on the racetrack. Joe Darnell and the number 3 of Logan Tackett. Logan Tackett Obviously about 21 or so laps down. Joe Darnell just hoping for another caution. As 64 Brett Murphy back out on the racetrack, and after all that, he ends up losing just one lap, and he will be flying right now. But you got to be smart on these fresh tires. You're going to be faster, but you need to pick and choose when you're going to try to attempt a pass.
Yeah, you don't want to burn them up. You're even though you're running 5 laps short of a normal fuel run, you don't want to burn those tires off.
Now, Joe, for some of these drivers, he did come to pit road from P3, as we have a pass for second. As Adam Capps is coming to pit road. I was just about to mention, with Brett Murphy being up towards the front, does he pull anybody to come down towards pit road? And there's your answer. Adam Capps taking a pit stop. And this should be it for the finish. He should be able to make it the rest of the way.
Yep. Here comes Paul Irvin, too.
Logan Tackett coming down as well for service. When does Shane Wolf pit? Now, he had about a 2-second lead over second place, but the longer he stays out, they're going to be about a second faster a lap.
This is actually smart. Seeing that he's been consistently the fastest truck on the track, I'd stay out, burn off what's left of the tires, and let these guys come out, burn off some of their tire, and he's got newer tires than them.
Yeah, but at that point, he might have to make some passes. And they're not going to be easy passes.
He's going to still have better tires by at least a lap or two. I'd like to see what his tire wear is, because this is kind of amazing to watch.
It's amazing to watch every week with Shane Wolf. As don't go anywhere. When we hit that checkered, we'll be talking to our 3 podium drivers before we close up shop here tonight. And we are just shy of 30, or just over 30 laps to go. As caution flag on the racetrack. Logan Tackett.
Oh, man. Oh.
We're going to back that up a little bit further.
Looped it on his own there.
Here it is. Entering turn number 1. Looking all good. Oh, stepped on the gas a little too. And he continuously steps on the gas repeatedly and just loses it. Like he downshifted. Right?
It doesn't sound like it, but what it looks like to me is he had a little bit too much overcorrection. And then it just snaps on him in the next turn. Like here, he's trying to save it. Getting on the gas. Yeah, that truck was... He was turning right to go left.
It ain't dirt. Second.
I don't care if it's dirt or not.
Second caution flag of the evening, brought to you by Elite Entertainment. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, it'll be the restart from Richmond Raceway. You're watching All-Star 15 TV.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Pace car is about to duck down pit road. We're gonna have 30 laps to go from Richmond Raceway. And green flag back in the air, and here we go.
Sayonara, Shane Wolf. Sayonara, Shane Wolf.
That battle is for second. Huge shout out to Michael Steele, +7 in second, and Daniel Park, +8 in third.
Paul Irvin just blinked out bad. Somebody was loose coming off of turn 4 there.
Wonder if that was the 77 trying to get out of the way of the 48. But here we go. Daniel Park, the 64 of Brett Murphy, the 4 of Matt Cochran, and the 26 of Sean Patrick. A lot of steel graphics and designs within that top 5, top 6. Then you also have Darnell Racing with Shane Wolf, Matt Cochran, Adam Capps, Paul Irvin, and Joe Darnell. It's still, I think, Shane Wolf's race to lose, but that battle for second, though, I think if Michael Steele can pull off a second, I'd watch out, everybody, because I think at that point his luck might have changed for the better. They're showing the points once again. He's only 5 under the cut line. And Derek Stanley, with the night he's having, that's unfortunately going to bounce him. Joe Darnell's in 9th. Brett Murphy is in 4th. But Michael Steele should have enough to where it should bump him up into the top 4. But we'll wait and see. We'll let everything finish. And we'll get the points put up on the channel at some point tonight after the race. But we could have a lot of moving parts when we hit checkered tonight, Joe.
It's going to be an entertaining shuffle in the points with this race. Shout out to the schedule makers.
Which I'm excited for next year, everybody. If you haven't seen the schedule, it was in the pre-roll of the new season for the ACAR Xfinity Series. Starts the day after the Daytona 500, February 17th. And from there, we go to 2008 Atlanta. March 3rd, we go to Coda. March 10th, Phoenix. The 24th, Homestead. And that's just a little sneak peek of the schedule. But right now, Daniel Park trying to hold on to that 3rd position as Michael Steele with a 2.5 behind James Shanewolf and about a second over Daniel Park. Shanewolf has done absolutely amazing tonight. He's led, obviously, the most laps led tonight. I think he might have a shot to lead every lap tonight. I don't think we've had another leader.
I don't think we have either. It'd be interesting to know what the final scoring is on it. Unfortunately, I'm not running all my nifty toys today. Yeah, there's no gap management anymore. It's go time. He's just saying adios.
Yeah, you could make it to the finish. Everybody can make it to the finish. It's go time, like you said. And a little bit of movement. Remember how I said earlier Derek Stanley's running to see if people back out of the race? Well, he gained a position over Tackett. He's back up to 12.
There you go.
And if everything works out, he could pass Alan Michael Bennett.
Sawyer too, possibly?
Possibly. I think if my math is right, he would get by Sawyer with 2 to go. That's if Sawyer and Bennett don't get back out on the racetrack, moving him up to 10th, and him staying into tonight's race could possibly save his playoff run. Now, another thing to look at, Joe, and work strategy with me. You know Michael Steele and Daniel Park are teammates. Are you thinking we might have something like we had at Martinsville this year with the Cup Series, where that 7 might possibly block a little bit for the 5?
I don't think there needs to be any team orders on this one. He's running pretty good by himself. I think it's just going to be good hard racing at this point.
15 laps to go. Stanley 6 laps away from Alan Michael Bennett. As Murphy just blinked out. Murphy's having an issue.
Murphy's in the wall.
And the caution flag is out.
That is the one thing Shane Wolf did not want to see.
What happened here? This is almost... Something broke and put him flat in the wall. He just blinks out, blinks out, blinks out, and next thing you know, he's just right in the wall.
Wow.
That's 2 of them. That's two
two
trucks
tonight. The lobby is cursed. That was a joke.
Elite Entertainment caution flag of the evening. Joe, does anybody throw a Hail Mary and possibly take 2?
Well,
here you go. Matt Cochran staying out. Not even bothering taking any.
that's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Brett Murphy has stayed out, but I think he will end up being a penalty truck.
Yeah, he's the one who brought the caution out.
To go, everybody. When we go green, it'll be right around 10 laps to go. Matt Cochran leading the first laps of anybody else that isn't James Shanewolf. Do you think he can hold on to it, Joe?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
That'd be wild.
I mean,
he's done it
it's
before.
The Chief truck.
He's done it before at the Milwaukee. I think it was the Milwaukee Mile this year.
With as dominant as Shane Wolf has been, he hasn't seen dirty air across his nose. So it'll be entertaining to see what's going to happen on this restart. Do they have the choose rule here? I didn't read your rule book.
The leader
lazy.
only gets it.
Okay.
And it wasn't the Milwaukee Mile, it was IRP.
Herp.
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 And for all you race fans, if you want more racing, tomorrow night, Joe, you're going to like this one. We go a little bit south to Charlotte Motor Speedway's Roval for the XMS Rick Motec Truck Series, and then Wednesday, the XMS Rick Motec Xfinity Series. And there goes 64 getting his wave around, putting him back out on the lead lap. He does not get to pit.
The truck doesn't look too bad.
No, not at all. A little scraped up on the right side, but that's two of them. Alan Michael Bennett back out on the racetrack. At 88. Kind of hurting the 77 there, as here we go. Green flag in the air. The 4 with a good launch, but what's the 1 going to do? Taking the inside. I think that's why Matt Cochran in the 4 took the outside, because he knew where the run was going to be. And there goes Shane Wolf. That battle right now is for second.
Second, third, fourth, fifth.
Oh, the 5's in the wall.
Butthole pucker value of 11. Oh no!
Everybody's just stepping on it now, and you can see it with the trucks just kicking out.
You think they were racing on dirt?
Right? Don't look now. Adam Capps sitting in 4th, getting by Matt Cochran.
Where did Paul Irvin come from? He's sitting second.
He passed about 4 cars within the first 2 laps of going green.
Look at Swervin Irvin go.
Paul Irvin is doing Paul Irvin things.
Exactly.
And just put the fastest lap of the race on the board by 0.03 with a 21.66. As there it is, the battle for third, the 2 and the 5 side by side off of turn 2. And it looks like Michael Steele concedes the position. Your P1 through 3, all Darnell Racing. With 4 laps to go.
Man, Paul Irvin is trying to do everything to catch Shane Wolf right now.
He's got it down to under a half a second. Dual popsicle sticks up in the air. 4/10. Coming out of turn number 4, the white flag. Shane Wolf takes the white flag, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Under a half a second. Can Paul Irvin get there? Through 3 and 4 for the final time. James Shane Wolf is going to win the Regeneration Sports Network 130. Brought to you by the Regeneration Sports Network. Go check them out in the description. They are wonderful with their breaking news and just awesome race talk, sports talk. Joe, absolutely crazy race tonight. Paul Irvin in second, Adam Capps in third, Michael Steele in fourth, fifth, Daniel Park, Matt Cochran in sixth, seventh, it's Brett Murphy, Joe Darnell in eighth, Alan Michael Bennett in ninth. Derek Stanley does come back to fight back for a 10th place position. Sean Patrick in 11th, 12th, it's Chris Sawyer, Logan Tackett in 13th. As you're watching the one burn it down on the front stretch.
Shane Wolf led 125 of 130 laps.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. Right? that's a Garyism. Hi, Gary.
Wow.
3 cautions, 12 laps, 4 lead changes.
And an absolute amazing race. Shall we get to talking to our podium drivers?
Oh, sure. I'll let you start this time, sir.
In P3, the driver of the number 2, it is Adam Capps. Adam, congratulations on the P3 finish. Hard charging to get by Michael Steele at the end. How was the truck out there? How was the race? And congratulations overall.
Yeah, thanks. It was loose. Now I was trying some pit strategy there at the end, but somehow I got caught speeding somehow, or I would have came out in the lead. But so I was pissed then. So I was running hard to get back to third.
Yeah, I feel for Mike. I feel for it. If that caution didn't come out, he was looking at a better finish, most likely. But you guys put on a hell of a show. For you to go from the front to the back to the front to the back to the front again, did the two just have that kind of power tonight? Or was it just how everything landed for you?
Yeah, it was how it landed, man. I was trying to be super easy the whole race. Like, I was just content riding in third right there at the beginning of the race, because I knew after popping off of my mouth last week, the 77, I was afraid if I passed him clean, he was going to ship me. So I was riding behind him, and then he wrecked himself, which was, hey, hell, karma's a bitch. Anyhow, it ended up being a good race. I don't think I had anything for Shane Wolf. I probably would have inevitably finished second if the pit strategy thing hadn't. If we would have kept green, I don't think I could have caught him. I mean, I was trying everything I had there when I got by the 64 to catch him, and I couldn't get him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had anything for Shane Wolf, unless you're Jeff Gordon with the T-Rex car.
Right? Yeah, I mean, he's good at Richmond. He always has been. He dominated here in SRN a couple of weeks ago, too.
Can you give me a racetrack he isn't good at, please?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Talladega.
Well, that's just because everybody's good at a super speedway race.
Right. Yeah.
But Adam, congratulations on the third place finish before we let you go, and enjoy the podium finish. Any of those beautiful sponsors that we're probably going to hear from second and first place as well?
Right. Nifty Lift and John Headland over there. Elite Entertainment. You guys at All-Star 15 TV broadcast. And Joe Darnell and Darnell Racing for having me on this year.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for having Elite Entertainment be our caution flag sponsor here on the channel. Appreciate you very much. Very much.
I'll see you next week. I love Rockingham, so I should see you next week.
Yeah, Rockingham's going to be a lot of fun. If Richmond was this much fun, I am very excited for Rockingham.
Well, Rockingham's a little different because you got to drive over your head to be fast there. That's the trick to that track. This one, you got to be cautious. Where Rockingham, you got to be aggressive.
Oh, well, so we might see a little more chaos next week, it sounds like.
Probably.
Hashtag chaos.
All right, dude. Well, great job. We'll talk to you possibly next week.
All right. See you guys.
All right, Joe. It is your turn for the driver in P2. That would be Paul Irvin. Joe, take it away.
Paul Irvin, do you have us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Fastest lap of the race comes on lap 124. What are you thinking chasing down Shane Wolf?
Probably the same thing that Austin Dillon thought at this track. If I could just get to him, But no, 3/10 isn't close enough there on that final corner. I had to quell my inner thoughts. I thought about wall riding it for just a split second halfway down the back, and thought better of it. With all the technical issues and being trapped a lap down, and I would gladly take second. Obviously would have want to get to that win, but Shane Wolf drove his butt off, and he definitely deserved the win. So hats off to him. And hats off to the team as a whole. I mean, 1, 2, 3. How many times have we said that this season?
A bit. Well, so when we were watching, you blinked out and then came back, and we just watched you start doing a lawn job. How did the truck feel after that? I mean, there had to have been something going on with it. It gave you an incident point.
Yeah, so that's where the technical issues come in. I'm having CPU issues that I'm getting remedied on Saturday, so won't have to deal with that anymore. Truck was tight afterwards. Obviously, Park ran me down there at the end of that first run, and caught a break there. Was on pit road whenever caution came out, so just drove through. So I guess blessing in disguise there. But after that first pit stop, it felt comfortable. Just needed the track position because it's a pain to pass here, and luckily there at the end, had to bump Steele out of the way. Got a little loose in front of me, and I didn't let off as much as I probably could have. But hey, that's just short track racing. So I do want to apologize to him because wasn't trying to really wreck him or anything, but had to get out of the way. Yeah, it's something like that. Needed him to move so that I could take the spot. Pretty much. I thought it was a pretty well executed bump and run myself, but he obviously probably won't feel that way. So if he wants to talk to me about it, my hauler's open after the race and we can talk about it. But yeah, truck felt great after the race. Well, after that first stop, and there for the end of the race, felt great. Just wish I had, 2-3 more laps. I might have been close enough to send it for a possible win. But all in all, we'll take the momentum into next week to where are we at again?
Rockingham.
Yeah,
Rockingham.
that track. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it with the technical issues behind us.
Well, congrats again on your second place finish. And I know you're just itching to sit here and talk about all the stickers on your truck.
There's some stickers on the truck. I rock Ally, of course, being a Bowman fan. So shout out to Dustin Carroll for making the paint schemes for me. Shout out to Joe Darnell, and Darnell Racing, the whole group of guys there. Ran pretty well tonight. And shout out to you guys up in the booth, as always, for putting on a hell of a show for us to always go back and watch later on and relive our glory days.
Well, congratulations again, bud. We'll hope to see you here next week.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
All right, that was second place driver Paul Irvin. It is time to talk to our race winner in dominating fashion, the driver of the number 1, James Shane Wolf. Dude, can you give us a warning when you're going to do that? Because that was an absolute butt whooping.
Yeah, I almost led every lap, man. My teammates screwed that up for me, staying out and stuff. Led 125 of the 130, man. I'm a little bummed out.
Well, he just wanted to take a point away from you.
Yeah, it's all good. It happened.
He broke the commentator curse.
Oh, did somebody pick me?
Sure did.
Hell yeah, dude. Good call.
Oh well,
I can
after
say
the
that
fact
for
we
tonight.
realized that you like this place.
Yeah, it's essentially it's my home track, man. I grew up going to Richmond. Like, hardly missed any races there in the last 15 years. So, um, ran another league there earlier this season and won there as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty decent at Richmond. The short tracks are kind of my bread and butter. That's I specifically when I got on iRacing, however many years ago it's been now, specifically for short track racing, and yeah, man. So that's all I usually do on here, and when we can take these big cars to a short track, it kind of figure out a way to get it to transfer over, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Well, how did the truck feel? Because I know it was dominating. Other drivers were having this really loose or tight or both issues throughout the racetrack. I think you only had one moment of that coming out of turn two. How did your truck feel? Because it looked smooth as heck for us.
It was loose as hell. That was all. That was all the driver right there, AJ. No, it was really loose, man. It was a lot of throttle control. Um, the best way I could tell my teammates is use that gas pedal like you got an egg underneath of it, man, and just be real easy. Don't mash it, because anytime you got on it too hard is when it would break loose. So you just had to be really easy on throttle to keep it from snapping. Other than that, that was really all you could do. You know, being on a lighter fuel load, it made the ass end of the truck lighter, obviously, and it it was a handful. But like I said, it just you had to fix that with throttle control. You couldn't do anything with the wheel to make that better. It was all in how hard you mashed on the gas and how quickly you got back to it. Like, I wasn't full throttle in either of the corners until I was already on the straightaway. Like, you really had to be patient getting back onto it. And I think that's where a lot of people were messing up. They were trying to get back to it too soon, trying to make up ground or find some speed that way. And really, it was slower than it was faster, and it hurt you more in the long run because you were wearing out that right rear.
All right, brother. Well, before we let you go, sponsors, plug them.
Yeah, big shout out to Alex at Alex's Save You Time there in South Hill, Virginia, the Exxon station off of exit 12B on 85. Adam Caps at Elite Entertainment for all he does for me. Brian Easley, your electric. John at Nifty Lift. Sorry, I just read something on Twitter that was completely stupid. You guys here in the broadcast booth, Joe Darnell Racing, for bringing me on. All my teammates for all their help. Everybody behind the scenes here at ACAR. I know the season's starting to come to an end and wrap up here, but you know, it's been a hell of a season so far, and we still got quite a little bit left to go, and I'm looking forward to the future of ACAR here. Definitely it's definitely grown, and it's definitely gonna continue to grow, and you love to see that. So
Yeah, it's gotten from craziness to one of the in my opinion, the better leagues out there the last 6 or 7 races with how competitive everything has been. Clean and competitive it's been. So I'm very excited to finish out the season, and then right after the 500, head to Daytona with the Xfinity cars and start it all over again.
yes, sir. Same here. I don't know if I'm coming back next season. We'll see. I'm gonna slowly start to kind of get away from league racing and stuff, and take some time off from iRacing in general. So we'll see. We'll see. I may be here, may not. But we'll see. You know, that's all I can really say about it, I guess. But either way, I know the league, whether I'm here or not, the league's going to continue to thrive, and I wish it nothing but the best, man, for everybody here at ACAR. If I'm not back next season, but
All right, buddy. Well, I would love to hear it. Love to see you on the racetrack, but hey, real life has to come first. But we'll catch you later, my friend, and can't wait to see you at Rockingham next week.
yes, sir.
All right, Joe, take us home, pal.
Again, another fabulous race by this league. I'm flabbergasted. We have not seen a set of races like this in leagues ever.
Especially on the channel. Like we've had a couple good runs with races on the channel before. I don't think we've ever had this stretch of banger after banger after banger.
No, we've quality over quantity at this point, and that's where we're at right now. And commend everybody in the league for running clean and making our job, number one, in the booth a whole lot easier. Number two, making it entertaining. So thank you guys again.
All right, everybody. For Joe Hutchings, I'm Agent Capola. Thank you for tuning into tonight's ACAR Frey Truckin Series race. Race number 2 of the round of 8 from Richmond Raceway, won by James Shainwolf, Paul Irvin in second, and Adam Capps in third. Tomorrow night, we have the XMS Ricmo Tech Truck Series from the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And then we run it back again on Wednesday with the Xfinity cars with the XMS Xfinity Series. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow night right here on All Star 15 TV.
Doses.